Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. Here I am. I really wanted to restyle my wig, but it's just too darn hot. The entire state of California was burning and it was brutally hot. The heat here does not end until around October, the end of October. So it's still really, really hot here. I did my walking, so I made myself 4 cups of tea, and I used my one tea bag. I buy them at 99 cents. No, Dollar Tree, 100 bags for $1, but they do have them at 99 cents only. So I hope everyone is doing okay. The fresh brewed tea is the best. Also, you know, I've been cutting down on caffeine, Coke, and Tylenol PM. All sleeping medications. And you know, I had a terrible time because I thought, even if I am a diabetic, what's the difference? It's caffeine free. Well, it turns out your kidneys don't metabolize it as well as you get older, and I think that might have been at the crux of my insomnia, the sleeping medicine. So it's been a couple of days with no sleeping medicine and very little caffeine. And I was telling my son, because I don't take any sleeping medication, I don't fall asleep until very, very late, like 3 and 4 in the morning. But I'm very tired, which is totally, I don't even remember the last time in my life I was ever tired. Actually, it's a pretty bad feeling. And I fall asleep, but the weird thing is I don't wake up 50 times and have to go to the bathroom. And in the morning, if I wake up, I can say to myself, you haven't had enough sleep, and roll around and sleep for an hour or 2. That has never happened in my life. So I've had these problems for a long time, and if just a few minor changes help, it's really worth it. Okay, I have the news. I am your news reporter. Mike Tyson, 54, returns November 28th to take on Roy Jones Jr. 8-round exhibition fight. I love Mike Tyson. He is 54 years old, a heavyweight, but is still scary. Wednesday, he was sparring with his trainer, Rafael Cordito. Well, he nearly knocked his trainer out. I don't know how much he's paying that trainer, but I don't think it's enough. Anyway, there's video if you guys would like to see it. I couldn't figure out how to tweet it, but he was hit in the head. So I think we're in for an exciting fight November 28th, and I am a tightwad, but I will be purchasing the fight. I purchased Floyd Mayweather's fights too. I thought he turned out some good fights. I enjoyed them immensely, and I thought they were worth every penny. Okay, that's the news for Mike Tyson, 54. Very exciting stuff. When I was young, I would take my last dollar and I would buy Mike Tyson's fight. And this is when it was first on pay-per-view. And they would have a little time clock, and you know, we were paying for this. And we would sit there and watch, okay, 30 minutes, 29 minutes, and 59 seconds, 58, and you know, sit there and watch it, waiting for those exciting fights. You have to admit, he did turn out some, I can't wait. Okay, that's the news. I don't know if this would be a great fight either way it goes. The heavyweight fights are the most dangerous. Bad things can happen. Okay, now for the news. Prince Harry and Meghan sign a megawatt Netflix deal multi-year. Okay, Americans are crazy wild for the royals because we don't have any royals. We have billionaires. We have tech zillionaires. We have movie stars, but we don't have any royalties. My friend and I, you know, we were on top of that Meghan and Harry wedding. We loved it. So now they have a megawatt Netflix deal, and it says here, Netflix is known for backing up the brake truck. And so it's been postulated $100 million. Even though you're a royal, you can still, you know, use $100 million plus driven up in a brakes truck. I heard the royals back in England are not that happy. But, oh right, you're not happy when somebody's getting an extra $100 million. It's very exciting for Americans too. So, I'm not sure when that's going to start, but I'll definitely be watching that. Okay, I would like to tell you what happened today. The news continues. I go to the store and I think I better get some lunch meat. Guess what? Guess what? No lunch meat. I am not kidding you. I thought, what the hell next? Are you kidding me? So I go to the 99-cent store by my house. No lunch meat. They had bologna. Would you like bologna or bologna? I got bologna. I got lunch meat there too. But when I realized there was no flippin' lunch meat, I said, oh no. So then I had to go downtown, you know, in a different town, and I had to do some stuff down there, and we'll get to that in a minute, because that's important, more important than the no, well, I can't say, no lunch meat's not good. I go to the Dollar Tree, they had bologna, no lunch meat. I go, are you kidding me? Then I go over to Smart and Final, and they have 1 pound packages of lunch meat, and I said, oh wow, okay, well, I'll get some tomorrow if I don't find any. So I'm going up the hill. I stop at the other 99-cent store. This is all the lunch meat. I bought it all. These are 7 ounces of ham, so you figure around 8 or 10, say 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 of these deli slices, and if you cut them in 3/4 pieces, this gives you a week, so it'd be 5 weeks, and then this is a ½ pound of ham. So you figure this would be a couple months of lunch meat, so it was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you figure about 2 months lunch meat. I have to put it back in the refrigerator. It's the lunch meat gold. I go, are you kidding me? Okay, it was discovered that this poor guy I knew was actually in the starvation mode. He wouldn't do anything to help himself. He couldn't seem to get food stamps, in spite of the fact that he had absolutely no money. I don't know what the problem was. Finally, he got a sandwich, a fruit, or a small salad, and a Coke. Guess what? I couldn't find any 25-cent Cokes either. I go, are you kidding? So I got some lunch meat, and if I was you guys, I would stock my freezer, because if you know you have lunch meat in the freezer, you know you can have a sandwich. You can dig around in your stockpile and get some fruit, or hopefully maybe you have stuff for a little salad. Okay, so no lunch meat. So I told you guys I discovered this pastor, and he said just get a couple cans of food every time you go to the store. So today I got 1 can, 50 cents dented peaches and dented pears. Usually I eat that like on yogurt, or I freeze it. It's really good on yogurt. or you can make a pie, or I put on cottage cheese. So I thought that was good for my 2 items. And then I got baggies. Somebody took one out, so I got this for 50 cents. So what I want to do is I want to keep, okay, so I think this was a real pastor and his advice was good. And since I have been doing this about 3 or 4 days, I have several cans. Say if I bought 2 cans a day, that would be 8 cans, and it adds up. Okay, so now I want to stockpile lunch meat, bacon. I looked around making sure they had bacon. Chicken, I found some pretty good chicken legs. It was 4 pounds for $5 at Walmart, and they were nice big chicken legs. Hamburger, part soy. I think I got 16 for $10 or $11. They're not the best hamburgers ever, but when this whole, meat thing started, I packed my freezer full of those hamburgers, and they've served the purpose. And then turkey burger, I bought chubs of turkey burger at Walmart. Here's 1/2 chub, and this is the second night of eating this. And so what I made was I made a little turkey stew, and I put it in this pan, and hopefully you guys can see it. And it was cheap. So what? Uh-oh. What I want to do is I want to make cheap stuff out of my turkey burger. Technical difficulties. I've been very, very busy, you guys. Okay, so now, so what I did was I fried my turkey burger, and I put dry onion, garlic, pepper seasoning, and celery flakes, and salt and pepper, and I fried the hamburger. Then I added carrots and onions. Is this showing? And I fried them a little to saute the vegetables. And then last night I had 1/2 can of tomato soup, and some stuff has been occurring to me, you guys. Last night I made enchiladas, a nice big batch. I still got a few in the refrigerator. And now this stew, and then I had sweet peas. And I put 1/2 can in there, and I came up with a nice little stew, and I will have enough left for tomorrow. So that's good. So I made 2 nice big meals, and I made them cheap, you guys, and that's the idea. So I have my, okay, the hamburger is $1.60, so you figure half a pound would be, this looks good, look at this. 1/2 pound would be 80 cents. And then you have your potatoes and your carrots. And then today I was at 99-cent store trying to find lunch meat, and I found these dinner rolls. They're really, really nice. I already ate 2, so I'm not having 2 more dinner rolls, because that's another bad thing, as you get older, is too much wheat. Look how nice these are. Unless I really want to, then I'll wolf down some. I am feeling so much better, you guys. I was so sick for so long. I think that's what happened. That's what happened in January when I was so sick. You just don't metabolize like when you're young. You're old, that's why. All right, let me see if I can find a spoon. You know, if you've ever been a terrible insomniac and you can't get any relief for it, anything that helps is good. Okay, now this turkey burger does not hold together um, in really good burgers, but if you're going to use it like in spaghetti or these kind of stews, it's fine. This is going to be good. And I limited my salt. Salt, they say nitrates in lunch meat are bad, but how about this? No sandwiches. Moderation is the key. That's good. So you have your vegetables, you have your meat, you have your tomato sauce, or you can use regular tomatoes. Now, okay, I saw this lady and she was buying a whole bunch. Out here what we have is hoarding because they freaked us out. Today there was very little food in the 99-cent stores. They freaked us out at the beginning of the pandemic, and so the San Diegans just go crazy. And there was this lady, and like her whole cart was full of mushroom soup. Well, that's going to be me as soon as I find some. So, and tomato soup. I'm going to go to Aldi's. So you can make all kinds of things using the tomato soup, but what's good with the mushroom soup is you can make like stroganoff stuff. You just add a little sour cream to it. That'll be a good one. I'm going to make that. I'm going to get more mushroom soup. A lot of times I can find it for 50% off. Okay, so now I'm getting somewhere with this pandemic and this economic thing, and I'm really getting somewhere. When I was young, I used to say I was going to join the military, and I would take the aptitude test, and it was discovered that I had an aptitude for patterns. I think that's all there is to mathematical aptitudes as well. So now I said to myself, what I want to do is I want to start looking at things in a positive way. Either like we can go, oh no, there's no lunch meat and ruin the whole day, or oh no, the world is going to the dogs, or we can start being more positive and taking positive steps. I think that's healthier. Okay, so now, number one, get food now. You know, don't go crazy. Okay, there was two really good videos on women, older women like me, going to the food pantries, and I posted, I went to the food pantry when I was sick, but I haven't been since because I really don't need the food that bad, and I don't want to take it in case somebody does. But Glenda Sully, Real Life on Social Security, Pop-Up Food Pantry, Queens, New York. And I think I posted that on my Twitter. She was number 78. And then the Poverty Princess Food Pantry Haul 9/17/20. You guys, check out these ladies and subscribe because you can learn a lot. I like the Poverty Princess. She managed to get free samples. You know, you could take 1,000 older women and they all have a different. I like them. They're very positive and they have good tips. But the main thing is store your house full of food. Now, don't say I don't have any money. You've got to go do what you've got to do. Okay, so you're going to go to the food pantries, the food bank, EBT, and welfare if you need it now. And the most positive thing, best thing you can do is stockpile food, because then you can go for weeks or months without spending any money. Okay, they're saying that restaurants, a lot of them are going down and they're not coming back up. They're drowning and there's no resuscitating them. There's defaults on credit cards and houses coming, like major. You do not want to default on anything. Sometimes though, you can't help it. And on your houses, as to why these people ready to default on the houses are not just selling because now it's a seller's market. I think people are very, very optimistic. If you haven't been able to work all year, you have to find other work. Okay, Las Vegas is really bad, as you can imagine. Casinos are like breeding grounds. And they're expecting a lot of evictions and car defaults. Okay, now, this is like the pattern thing I want to tell you about. I go into the bank today. Well, there's major banks and then there's credit unions. I go into the major bank and I want to get $5 in quarters because when I go to McDonald's, they're like, they don't want to make change, which annoys me, but you know, it's the world we live in. So what I did was I stockpiled dimes to keep McDonald's happy. Yes! Okay, so I got to the bank and I need quarters and I say, can you give me $5 worth of quarters? And the manager comes like I'm trying to get their money, you know? And I put some money in the bank, some cash money I had. And so my life was, in my life, if I could make my clients happy, then I was going to make money. So my whole life was to figure out what makes other people happy and deliver, right? And so I noticed that putting cash money in the bank made my bank happy. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating every occasion I possibly can to put the cash in my major bank, right? Because I have learned from previous recessions that you want to keep your bank happy. I worked in salons. And I mean, my banks literally hated the people that I worked for. Finally, it was discovered that I had to guarantee their checks, but if it was now, I wouldn't even do that. I would go to their bank and I would cash that check, and then I would put the cash in my bank to keep my bank happy. The banks are really out of control, though. If you don't have an account there, they charge you $5 to cash a check that was issued from their bank if you're not a bank member. It's crazy. So what's happening, and we've heard about this, is the banks are hoarding cash. Yes. Okay, they're going, oh, the cash is valueless. Really? Then why are all the rich people and why are the banks hoarding cash? Now, in my life, since I do resale, it's very easy for me to get cash. So what I would suggest is in every other place, you use digital currency, but in your major banks and your credit unions, you deal all cash to keep them happy. Because when they're happy, everybody's happy. One time, I was working in the salon, and this girl and she goes, you know what she's like? She's like an asshole. She's like being married to an asshole. It's miserable. Let's go down to this other shop down the street and check it out. So we go down there. I'm not saying the banks are assholes, but we go down there and we check the shop out, and she looks at me and I look at her. And she goes, we better keep the asshole happy. So we went back to work, you know. And it's the same thing, you know, it's the same thing. We better keep our bank happy. If they want cash, more power. I'll be glad to do the cash thing. This is one thing why my jobs were so totally and completely dangerous. Because what I did is I would do small jobs. And I wasn't like a pain in the rear, like, you know, McDonald's wanting change. I went to McDonald's that sold me, not this one I go to all the time, that sold me soda that was undrinkable. I mean, we're seeing that. We're seeing products that are lower standards, I made them give me a refund. I go, this is, no one should drink this. So anyway, so this is why the resale business, any day of the week I want, I can go to the swap meet and I can generate cash and I can put that cash in my bank. So in my jobs, I would do these small jobs and I would say, would you mind, if possible, in a nice way, could you pay me cash next time? So what do you think happened to me when I was the only one that had a cash business? Yes. So banks are hoarding cash. So what we want to do is we want to keep the banks happy by depositing cash in the banks. And we want to watch our credit cards. Okay, now, there's this thing going, Americans are soft. Americans are defeated. America's in big trouble. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, there's such a thing as psychological defeat, but if you watch these women, Glenda and the Poverty Princess, these women are not soft. They are doing what they have to do to get by. This is nonsense anyway. Americans are not soft. Some of us have been through it, all right? So now we're learning stuff as we go along. There's no lunch meat, we got to get some. The banks want cash, we got to deliver. It's not we're going soft. Now there's another issue, and this is a good issue. I would work in these shops, and it wasn't that they were pushing me around. It was, I was waiting to see what they were going to do. And then when they did something stupid, then, then it was time for me to do something. When I lived in the apartments that gave me the 60-day notice. They gave me a hard time for maybe 2 years, and I waited, and then they 60-dayed me, and I left, and my money went with me. And in the salons, my hair cutting skill, nobody paid me. I did a haircut, the customer paid, the money went in the cash register, and then they gave me a %. They did not pay me, the customer did. In the apartments I lived in, I paid them, they didn't pay me. So I would wait, and I think this is what Americans are doing. No one's pushing us around. There's offense and there's defense. So a lot of Americans are just waiting around going, now what the hell are you going to do? Okay, we got toilet paper now. Okay, probably the cost of gas is going to go up. Okay, we're probably going to suffer some inflation. We're not freaking out, but we're, just waiting to see what's going to happen. Well, what's going to happen is the election in November. That's what's going to happen. And I do not believe that Americans are going to turn on each other. And no, I do not. I believe a lot of those looters and protesters were paid to be there. I probably will make a little adjustments when it comes time to vote. Okay, so now another thing you want to do is keep an eye on your credit cards, because what they're doing is they're going and they're closing credit cards down, and they actually did this to me. And I had this credit card and they closed it down, and I called, why? Well, there's been no activity on it for 18 months. Well, when they're almost paid off, they're not making any interest anyway. So anyway, keep an eye on your credit card. So when I called them, then they reinstated it. But keep a very close eye. You don't want to lose any ground financially during this economic shift. Okay, now go to a thrift store and buy 2 years worth of clothes. Just buy 2 years worth of clothes. Buy them cheap, wash them, throw them in the bedroom, and if you need them, they're there. Buy shoes, underwear, and socks. Now, what we're keeping an eye on, we're not being pushed around. We're not defeated. We're just waiting to see what's going to happen. Some people have been careless, and they paid dearly for it. And so what we're watching for is a second wave, and we're watching Europe. And we're watching China. Okay, China is totally untrustworthy because they're not going to tell us anyway. But I think it was Britain in Northwest, they had some corona cropping up. Out here in the West, it's very, very hot. People normally don't catch pneumonia when it's hot like this. I think the most dangerous things are crowds. Don't do it. Okay, we're looking for inflation on food and gas, but that's where our stockpile is going to help us. And if you get the food free, that's going to help you. We're looking for food shortages on beef and cans. Some of the cans are kind of scanty. I'll be stockpiling mushroom soup and tomato soup. So the pastor, the real pastor, said stockpile a few cans of food every time you go to the store. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to accumulate some cash, small bills. How about just getting a few dollars and saving a few dollars at a time every now and then? And then just like the cans, it will start to add up, you guys. His advice was so good. You know, the moderation, let moderation be everything, is so true. And so today I went through my disastrous eBay, and I had big garbage bags of clothes, and I was able to go and repack about 4 of them. That was a lot of work. It's very hot here. Okay, and I listed 4 watches on eBay that might sell, that might not. But if they don't sell now, they'll sell later. And one of the things that I did was I got boxes for my food storage. So like even a small step like that, and I'm working on the minimizing. I'm not getting rid of my stuff, but I'm deciding which stuff is going to sell. And I have a lot of stuff. Okay, so now, if you stockpile a little food at a time, and you stockpile a little barter stuff, if you find, another thing is, what would happen instead of like going out in this heat or going out with this cold, every time you walk past a can, just pick it up. I was thinking about doing that just to see how many cans I can get, and I probably would get a lot. But I don't want the cans piling up around here because I have too much stuff. I get some kind of insects because of those cans. It is not worth it. But if you think about it, since we're trying to make the banks happy and get some cash in the bank, or we're trying to make ourselves happy by getting a little extra spending money, the best thing is the resale, you guys. It's not hard to do once you start getting the hang of it. So, I want to mention about the turkey burger. So let's say, okay, so far I have 2 meals on the turkey burger. I have the enchiladas that was really good. So that was 80 cents on the meat. And now I have this turkey burger stew, and I have enough for at least 2 or 3 meals. So I'm going to be doing that too. I'm going to be going through this list here. What I want to find, okay, lunch meat, what I usually do with that is I make sandwiches, or I make salads with lunch meat and cheese, or I make like scrambles with eggs, and I tear up the lunch meat and cheese. Those are good with toast. On bacon, I like to make bacon and gravy with biscuits, or bacon and eggs, or bacon quiches, or bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches. Chicken, there's all kinds of chicken stuff, but to find several easy chicken recipes, one of the best thing is chicken nuggets. They're quick too. And then on the hamburgers, so I would have 2 or 3 meals on the turkey burgers, on the hamburgers, the chicken, bacon, and lunch meat. Okay, you guys, please like, comment, and subscribe, and God bless you all.